turned out to be that lighting was something that I could do. I just seemed to be able to see what I wished to see. And this notion of having this visual process and having light help to create the scene, by knowing what I wished to see, I was able to compose scenes differently. What I wished to do, I could accomplish with light better than I could with any other medium. So I just concentrated on that. But I also never lost fact that I had all these other interests. And those other interests were the key to knowing how to get done what I wished to do. So, in what I wished to see, and with this open-minded, devil-may-care, immaterial, we don't do things like that. Who cares? If that's what I wished to do, I did it. And I carried that through. In the theater, there are no rules. In lighting, there are rules. In architecture, there are rules. There are standards, this, that, and the other thing. They were meaningless to me because I was free. In the theater, the only thing you're worried about is, what the hell is this production going to be like? Is it going to be a success? What is going to make it a success? What is going to make this scene special? And being able to visualize what it is you wish to see was the answer to what you needed to do, not what the standard said, not what the recommended practices were. There were no recommended practices for the theater. There was only what you wished to do. And I grew up with that. I went all through grammar school, all through high school, just doing what I wished to do. When you know what it is you wish to see, you can see how the light is going to impact on the scene. And then you know where to place the light, how intense it should be, what color it should be, when the focus should change, when the scene should change, when change is necessary, when change would be a mistake. So if you weren't following any rules, you were doing all kinds of things that just might never have been done before. And that was the beauty of it. Because when that scene came about, if it worked, you were going to have a success. If you followed the rules, you were only copying. You were not creating. And that was key. My play with art said, am I creating or am I copying? I never copied anything. The rules need to exist legally for architecture and this and that. But that doesn't mean that they should be limiting. But if you only look at the recommended practice, and that's what you do, you're not creating, you're only copying. And there was an Illuminating Engineering Society in 1906, but it was really all technology and rules. And I had a rule already that I made up for myself. Rules are a substitute for thinking. And I was a philosophy minor in school, and that's where that came from. If you deal with everything as a challenge, you're going to do better. If you're challenging yourself, if you've seen it before, don't do it. Don't copy, create. It's the opportunity. So here is a chance. So what you learn is to capitalize on opportunities. Every single thing comes along. It has a potential to be an opportunity. So if you look at everything, don't turn down any opportunity. The worst thing is happen is you won't like it. You don't have to do it again. But if you don't do it, you'll never know. It was the emotion from a scene. What caused that reaction? What's going to motivate the person to have that feeling? What's going to change the environment? And you could tell from the playwright's words what the action was going to be, and how do you make that action more easily transmitted to the viewer. You had to figure out what inner parts of your body had to respond to this to reinforce the message you really were wanting to send. It's this need to search that you have to instill in yourself. When you look at a blank piece of paper, what do you have? You have a blank until you put the pencil to the paper. Now you're doing something. What causes that emotion? What inner thing, what other experience in your life can you derive that gives you a sense of what you wish to do? It becomes second nature as long as you have an open mind and will accept it and take the challenge. Everything you get is potentially a challenge if you recognize it as such and you capitalize on it. And the more you do that, the better you get at it. When you read that book, The Method of Lighting the Stage, it was very carefully titled, A Method of Lighting the Stage. It wasn't the method, it was a method. So it was an open-ended thing. And it was just a set of what's causing you to see it. There was no way to do it. There was a way to do it. Then you have to come up with your way to do it or some way to do it. But this was a method, so this was a proposition, not a rule. You have to understand the entire set of visual experiences that the person is undergoing before they arrive at where you wish them to be and how you wish to transform that. This is not Star Wars. You don't materialize in this room. You have to get there. So you have to understand all the transitional parts that the person is visualizing and seeing. And then what are you going to do to make their arrival at the place that you wish them to be special? If you don't know all of the things that they're going through, you don't know what's motivating them or what they're going to be occupied with. So if you understand all of that, you have this holistic view of this whole transition, this three-dimensional motion-full experience. Do they arrive in a vehicle? Do they arrive in public transportation? They're taking the subway. How are they getting there? Where do they go through? Is it a park? Is it a crowded street? What is it like? What sets up the time of the emotion you wish to have when you visualize this space? It's the need for the open mind, the search for a variety of things that expands your ability to have an emotional experience. It was clear to me that that's what made you see the scene. The light was the transmitter of the message, and the tonality of it, the lighting of it. You get up and you have a wonderful sunrise, sunset, moonlight, this, that, the other thing. Light is everything. It's changing. It's always different. There's always something about it that if you look at it and think about it, if you're just scanning the world, that's one thing. If you're seeing the world, that's something else. If you start to see things, you will learn to see. Learning to see is a matter of light. Just the title of that book. Learning to see. You have to learn to see. Some people have no awareness of anything, and so they go through life very, very happily. When you start to really have an awareness of the world, it's a richer experience. And the more you experience this variety, this wealth of things that are available to you, you become far better at enjoying life. And this enjoyment is a reward. And that reward is that you are able to accomplish things that otherwise would go by unnoticed. All these people came along, and they've been adding to the quality of work. The quality of work being done today is so much better than it was. The most important thing, the hardest thing to do, it sounds easy, but it's not. It's to have an open mind, to really look things up, check it out, do your homework. If you're going to be a professional lighting designer, understand the impact of all the things you're applying. Have a good, solid technical knowledge. That is simple. That's the easiest thing to gain knowledge on. The creative part it requires a different type of thought process. You can provide this much light. How you provide it, the sources you pick, and everything, have an impact. What impact are you having on the places you are lighting? I would really hope that people would do with all of the new stuff coming out and the things that are being applied, you can't wait for negative things to occur. You should just preempt that by learning to see. I did a big library, and I wanted to do something to light the stacks. So I cut a mock-up. I tried all these different lights in the mock-up. And what was my test? I wanted to see how people that had some visual impairment could read better. And the lights that allowed people with some kind of visual handicap read better, that's the light I chose. Didn't take any great research. Took a simple test. You got these light sources, try them out, see which ones work. How do you check it out? Get visually, people who have normal vision don't have too much problem. People who are somewhat handicapped have a problem. Solve that problem, and everybody's happy. And there's not one way to think about anything. So the broader focus you have, the better off you will do. You have to pick people who you admire and see what they do. You can have all kinds of mentors. I have a room full of mentors here. Some of these guys were dead before I was born, but I learned from them because I could read their words and I could see. I've learned to see what they were saying. And I accumulated it and I expanded upon it. It was really clear because it was Leon Friend who would say every now and again in art class, and I was on his art squad, which was an amazing experience because I would prepare all the materials for the work, for the classroom on the art squad. And every now and again, Leon would get up in front of the class and said, in front of you is a piece of paper. It's the opportunity for a work of art. Let's see what you can do. That stuck with me, just like glue. Every job I got, Leon was right over my shoulder saying, here's an opportunity for a work of art. Let's see what you can do. And so Leon had an impact on my life. Gustav Bloom had a similar impact. He would want to know how you felt, what made you feel that. And the ability to put a perspective on that emotion was really important.